Now, before we do the rest of this topic, I just need to recap angle facts with you. So you can see that when you have two parallel lines and a transversal going through them, there are various properties which appear. For example, alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are angles which are on the opposite side of the transversal, in between the parallel lines. So you can see sometimes they make a Z, you say they make a Z shape. Corresponding angles are in the same position on each part of the parallel lines, and then co-interior angles sum to 180. And obviously angles around a point add up to 360. So we're going to be using this because what you may have noticed obviously is the north lines are parallel. So if you turn these diagrams sideways and you treat all the north lines parallel, you're going to start seeing that I'm going to be using all of these rules to work out missing angles, and so will you. So calculate the three-figure bearing of T from S. When I'm traveling from S, I'm going to T. So the first thing I will do is I'll extend the north line so I can see the transversal here. I can see TS is that transversal, and then I can just use angle properties from the last slide. So I know that's 142. I'm working out this angle here because I'm going from north clockwise. To work that out, it's fairly straightforward. I know the blue angle will be 180, take away 142 because they are co-interior, and the yellow angle will be 360, take away 38, 322. Right, can you have a go with this? Pause the video now. Okay, so you should have the following answers in your book. Now, moving on to questions where you do not have a diagram. So far the topic has come across quite straightforward, and it is, but students sometimes become a bit too confident and lazy sometimes with working out the actual angles here. 45% of students that got a grade 7 or above got this question wrong, and it's a really basic question. So if you're given a question without a diagram, sketch a diagram out. I'm expecting to see diagrams for every question. So bearing of A from B, the common mistake is people will do 360 take away 297. So if you sketch a diagram out, you'll see why that doesn't work. So we're going from B. 297, well, that's going to be greater than 270. So it's going to go up and to the left. And then I'm going to reach some point A. Now label the angle I know. Well, I know that this is 297, and I'm looking for this angle here. So I do 360 take away 297 is 63, and then the co-interior angle will be 180 take away 63, 117 is what you get. So it's a very easy question to get wrong if you're not paying attention. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I'm going to give you the task of sketching 3 different bearings given the worded description, and then I'll go through each of these. I don't have that much on a worksheet for this section, so you're going to need to do this as a kind of semi-interactive task. So sketch this out in your books, and then I will explain it to you. So you start from B, you want to go to A, 45 degrees, obviously that's going to be in between 0 and 90, and 2 kilometers, and then there's your A. Now, it said sketch, so I'm expecting to see something like this in your book. You don't have to use a ruler, it's just a rough sketch. Okay, second sketch, can you sketch this out in your books? And then I will go through it.
Many tic-tacs later.
Okay, so we're going to go through it now. You go from P. Now you're traveling east, which means 90 degrees. So you're going to go to the right 90 degrees, 300 meters. The actual physical length of the line doesn't matter, it's just a line, but then you have to label it correctly as 300 meters. It then travels on a bearing of 112, but I know that's more than 90 but less than 180, so it's going to go down somewhere like that. And then I label that 500 meters and 112, and then we reach point Q. Again, in your books, this is what I'm expecting to see here. Just a rough sketch. And the final sketch is coming up. I want you to do this one in your books. Okay, now I'm going to go through it. So you start from...
1 week later.
It took you a week, that's a long time. X on a bearing of 235, so it's not greater than 270, so it's not going to go left, it's going to go slightly below that. So 235 would look like that. 65 kilometers and until it reaches Y, and then it travels 300 degrees, so it's bigger than 270, less than 360, so it's going to go up to the left, label it, and there's your diagram. That's what you should have in your books. Okay, next 2 examples, try both. I mean, this should take you about 20 seconds each question. Okay, so you should now have 180 plus 40, that's straightforward. And then question 2, you know that this is a triangle, so they have to add up to 360. They work out the missing angle and add 90. You get 145. Okay, now a harder example. You must sketch this in your book as well. It's just a sketch, you don't need to use a ruler. Figure out what you think this would look like, and then I'm going to go through it with you. Okay, going through this example took you a while.
4 to 6 weeks later.
A bearing of B from A 70, so this is the rough shape you should have. Now you know that's 70 and that's going to be 100. This is the method that you could have used to work out the bearing here. From this I can see I have 2 parallel lines here. See this line here, this line here. Technically there's another one there, but we're just interested in the first 2. So there's your transversal. So these 2 are going to be co-interior. And then I also know that these 2 are going to be co-interior as well. So I can label those angles straight away. So that's going to be 80 and 110. Then I'm also told that this is an isosceles triangle. So I work out the 150 because this angle is around a point. Because it's an isosceles triangle, the remaining 2 missing angles inside the triangle I can work out by doing 180 take away 150 divided by 2. And then the angle I'm interested in, well, I want to determine the bearing of A from C. Well, I'm traveling from C, I go north, clockwise until I get to A, which is there. So that's the angle I'm actually working out. So I can see just do 360, take away the other 2 angles, and I get 265. Okay, last set of questions before you do the worksheet. So determining the bearing of A. So you can have, from that you should have got 300 degrees. And then for the last 2 questions, you get 126 and 191. So that is the basics of bearings. There's a worksheet with 9 questions. This is worksheet 1. This is just the basics. There's no advanced trigonometry here. Make sure you hit subscribe and get updates from the channel, and then I will start the advanced trig lesson soon. See you next time.